Another full year of RC in the books, RC drivers, and I think 2024 was a good year for releases. We saw a wide range of offerings come out. We saw some refreshes like from Traxxas and Axial, and I think overall it just was great for the hobby. I think a lot of people came in through some of these releases, and that's what it's all about. And certainly there was plenty of products to have fun with. And of course, I'm gonna go over my top 10 for the year. And my top 10 is stuff that I had physically here on the channel, stuff that I have tested. So that excludes the Mini Max because I didn't get to test that yet. But I've got a great list for you. And if you're looking for something that is in the top 10 for your collection, you definitely need to check out this list. I'll have links for every RC I mentioned down in the video description below. So let's get into it. Starting off with number 10 on my list, HPI Racing. These guys have been around for a long time. They finally came out with an all-new platform in their lineup, and it's the Venture 18, a small scale crawler, and I think they did a really good job with this rig. It gave us a great looking Toyota body with that Back to the Future look, and it's really well equipped. It's got a 2-speed transmission, a brushless system, oil-filled shocks. This is an absolute blast to crawl indoors and outdoors, and it's really good to see them putting an effort into giving us something new, giving us something for the crawler community, especially the mini crawler community, which is just blowing up right now, and they really nailed it with this release. Number 9 on my list is actually a boat. It's part of the service community. You drive a boat, and that's why it's here on the RC Driver channel, and I absolutely just love boats. It's a great departure from driving RC cars, gives you a little break, and these things are so much fun, especially the new Traxxas Disruptor. This thing is like the max of RC boats. This thing is such a beast. It handles a ton of abuse. I've driven this behind a real boat, launching it off the wake. It takes so many hits and keeps on going. I've only gone through one prop with this, and that's because I hit a stick in the water. But this thing is a pure beast. It runs on 4S, and it is wicked fast. It's got some great runtime to it. Again, solid hull, good running hardware, super easy to get into. And if you've got a lake anywhere near you, it's seriously a boat to consider. Number 8 on the list is the FMS FCX-10 Land Cruiser. Now, I know the Blazer came out before this with the FCX-10 chassis. However, I like this setup a little bit better, and that's why I stuck it in the number 8 slot instead of the Blazer. The Blazer, I think it needed a little bit more work on the body. I like this one a bit better. I think it's better proportioned, and I love the way it's outfitted. I love that they've got the rack on top. They got tons of LED lights in here. They've got the interior with a little bit more detail, and then the chassis itself. It's the FCX-10 chassis, and it doesn't have the lockers in it, but you know what? I hardly use the lockers, to be honest with you. I'm happy that it has the 2-speed transmission in here, the steel frame rails, aluminum oil-filled shocks. It's got metal links. It looks really good. It handles really well, and it looks awesome on the trails. I think a lot of people that want to go out driving with something realistic could pick this up and really have a lot of fun with it. That's why I just had to have it on the list. Red Cat Racing has made the list again, guys, this time in the number 7 slot with the Valkyrie. It is a 4S powered brushless 4x4 monster truck that's under $300, $299.99. That is an incredible price for what you're getting in this. It's actually really well built, and they did have an issue with the shocks in the beginning, but they made it right. They sent people that broke those shocks the replacement set of what they thought they were giving people from the suppliers, but they made it right, which is very important. Awesome customer service there, but this is a beast of a truck. It flies high in the air. It's got some serious power to it. It can be pretty wild to drive, but in the end, for the price point, for the brushless system in there, it's a great buy for a basher. Yep, 2 boats made the list for 2024, and this one is the Probo Sonic Wake 48, a 48-inch deep V fast electric. This thing has a 950 kV motor in there. It's massive. It uses a giant scale servo for steering. It's 8S powered, and it's self-righting. The first giant boat with a self-righting feature, which makes it absolutely awesome. This thing is a wild drive. Just the size and the sound that come out of this definitely gets your adrenaline going. I think you use a little bit more prop to get it up and out of the water. It seems like it wants it, but that's an easy mod to do. And however you drive it, I think you're gonna have an absolute blast if you're looking for a boat for next year. Unfortunately, I don't have number 5 to display, and it's the Tama Hornet Evo. And the reason why I don't have it here is because I gave it to my good friend Paul Honorato that helps me out here on the channel. The Tama Hornet was his first RC car, and it really meant something special to him, so I had to give it to him. But that is the big deal. That's the reason why I put it as number 5 on the list, because it's a car that means so much to a lot of people. It was the first RC car for many people in this hobby, many people that have come back to the hobby. And when I posted the Tama Hornet Evo, I think I got more engagement with that RC car than any other that's out there right now. There are so many people sharing their memories about it, people sharing good experiences with the new Evo version. I think it's just another special release. They did a really good job on it. They maintained the classic Hornet look, but they revised the suspension, they revised the driveline. It makes it so much more drivable, so much more fun while you get that vintage vibe. Number 4 on the list is the Traxxas Max Slash. This is where they took the original concept of the Slash short course truck, which so many people love, and then they combined it with the brute force platform of the Max, and they created this wild truck here. It is an absolute beast to drive, 6S capable, super fast. Love the suspension travel on this, and then the chassis is just a solid mass where you can jump this thing, get some pretty good air, or you can run through some gnarly terrain, just have fun watching it blast through the dirt. That's what I did. I took it to a construction site and was just roosting dirt everywhere. The excitement that came with this truck was amazing. And then I went ahead and actually turned this truck into a project, did a really long video about it for you guys, and it got a really good response. That's why I had to have it towards the top of the list. Number 3 was one of the best, cheapest releases of the year, the Losi MicroB. It's basically a TLR 22 shrunken down to fit in the palm of your hand, and this thing works well. When you go and shrink down a vehicle, not everything translates into working well, like the suspension or driveline, but somehow Losi did it with this one, and it is insane to drive. Whether you're driving on a track, indoors, or just in your driveway, this thing is a lot of fun. And already there's tons of option parts out there for it. You can make it even faster if you want to, but right out of the box, this is a killer value. Speaking of killer value, that pretty much sums up any Arma Grom that came out this past year, whether it was the brush versions or even the brushless versions. These things are insane to drive. These are perfect for anyone getting into the hobby, and even the experienced pros, I think, have fun driving Arma Groms. And for my overall pick of the Groms, which was not easy to do, I think I'm gonna go with the brushless Typhon. Reason being is it's fast, it's nimble. I like that it comes with the better diffs and the better shocks, even has adjustable turnbuckles on it. And this is capable of going 50 miles an hour. And you can do it with full control. It handles really well. Awesome little buggy if you're looking to keep prices down and the fun turned all the way up. There's number 1 on the list, RC drivers, the Losi NASCAR. From the moment I first drove one of these, it was down in Florida. I was hanging out with Mark Santa Maria. We got prototypes to drive, and I instantly knew this was going to be a huge hit. It's going to attract a lot of NASCAR fans and hopefully get them into the hobby, which it did. That's why I had to put it at number 1. This was so great for our hobby, bringing so many new people into it with a car that was easy to drive. And not only that, it looks awesome with all the different liveries that they have. I still think the Martin Truex is the best version, but it made people just relate to it, get into the hobby, and now I'm seeing racing expand because of it. It's a great car. It's quick out of the box, so much fun to drive. You can get together with some buddies in a parking lot or even your driveway, have some fun, or hit up the local track and race them for some trophies. Awesome job with this one, Losi. You nailed it with the number 1 slot with the NASCAR. And there you have it, folks, the RC Driver Top 10 for 2024. I think these were a bunch of great releases. And again, I'll have links for these in the video description below if you want to check out the video on each individual RC. If you think something different should have been on the list, let me know your top 10 in the comments section below. I'm looking forward to 2025. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any videos rolling into the new year.